Welcome to Nova Toolbox. If you're trying to find AI tools that genuinely save time, improve quality, or help you build faster, this channel's for you. I don't just list features, I test tools like a real user and show you the results on screen.
In this video, we're exploring Dynal.ai. First, I'll give you a quick overview of what it's designed to do. Then we'll go inside the tool together, review every key feature, and run a full test so you can see how it performs in real time.
I'll also share what I liked, what I felt was limited, and the best way to use it to get clean results. And at the end, I'll give you a clear verdict. Is it worth using? What plan makes sense? If that's the kind of review you want, subscribe to Nova Toolbox. Now, let's get started with the overview.
If you have ever tried to build a real LinkedIn presence, you already know the frustrating part. You can watch all the how to grow on LinkedIn videos, you can save 100 hooks, you can even outline what you want to be known for, but when it is time to actually post, you freeze. You stare at a blank page, you rewrite the first sentence 10 times, and you end up posting once, then disappearing for 2 weeks. That is why today I am testing Dynal.ai, because it is built for the hard part, turning your positioning into consistent output that actually looks like you. Dynal is basically a brand co-pilot for LinkedIn. The idea is simple. 3 months from now, when someone sees your name, what do you want them to remember you for? Not just this person posts sometimes, but a clear angle. Maybe you are the founder who shares practical lessons about shipping. Maybe you are the consultant who breaks down growth systems. Maybe you are the operator who posts clean frameworks. Dynal tries to lock that identity in, then helps you publish in a way that reinforces it every single week. So let me show you the workflow I would actually use as a creator and as someone who wants LinkedIn to drive real business results. The first step is setting up your brand DNA. This is where you define the voice, the audience, and the boundaries. For example, you can set it to sound direct and practical, not motivational. You can define who you are speaking to, like founders, marketers, or agency owners. And you can also set content limits, like topics you do not want to touch, or a style you do not want, like generic hype. Once brand DNA is set, the next step is turning real source material into posts. This is the part that makes it feel different from starting from scratch. Instead of just typing, "Write me a LinkedIn post about productivity," you can bring something real, a PDF, a link, a web page, a doc, even an image. Dynal pulls the signal from it, then rewrites it into a LinkedIn native post that fits your voice. And the key is that it is editable, so you are not stuck with a final output you cannot control. Here is a real use case I think most people will relate to. Let's say you are a small B2B founder and you have a landing page plus a short PDF case study. Normally, turning that into LinkedIn content takes forever. You read your own doc again, you try to pick the best parts, then you end up with a boring summary that nobody finishes. With Dynal, I would drop the PDF in, then choose an angle like what we learned after fixing one bottleneck, or the mistake we made in week 1. Dynal generates a draft that is structured like an actual LinkedIn post, with a hook, clear points, and a clean takeaway. Then I use the refine tools to improve only what I need. If the hook is weak, I refine the hook. If the post is too long, I shorten it. If I want it to feel more decisive, I adjust tone. It is like having a draft doctor, but still keeping the voice consistent. Now let's make it visual, because on LinkedIn, visuals can change everything. If I want a carousel, Dynal can turn that idea into a page-by-page flow where each slide lands one key point. So instead of posting a wall of text, I can post a carousel that breaks the idea into a mini story. For example, slide 1 is the bold claim, slide 2 is the context, slide 3 is the mistake, slide 4 is what we change, slide 5 is the result, and slide 6 is the lesson. The important part is that it stays on brand, and you can reorder the slides before you publish. Second use case, and this one is perfect for consultants, coaches, and fractional operators. Imagine you have a client call, and you have messy notes. Normally, those notes die in your Notion or Google Docs. With Dynal, you can paste the notes as a source, then tell it the point you want to be known for. For example, I help teams reduce churn, or I build positioning systems. Dynal turns those notes into a clean post with a strong structure, and you can also generate quote cards from a single sharp line like a one-sentence insight you want to own. Then Dynal can generate the supporting post copy that makes the quote feel meaningful, not random. Now let's talk about planning because consistency is the whole game. One of the best parts here is the idea of planning a full week in one sitting. Instead of trying to post every day by willpower, you pick your sources and your themes, generate a batch, then schedule them. That matters because the real problem is not, I do not know what to post. The real problem is the execution tax. You spend mental energy rebuilding the same structure every time, and that kills consistency. Dynal is trying to remove that tax by giving you a repeatable engine. There is also a trending section that is actually useful. It is not just a template library. It shows real posts that are currently getting attention, and the smart part is you can take the underlying format and remix it into your own perspective. So if a certain structure is working right now, like a short story with a lesson or a list post with a punchy close, you can use that structure without copying someone's content. Quick comparison because people always ask. Yes, you can use ChatGPT to draft a LinkedIn post, and it can be great. But the difference here is that Dynal is built around LinkedIn content as a system. Brand DNA, sources to post, visuals, carousels, quotes, planning, and scheduling. The goal is not one good post. The goal is a consistent, recognizable presence that compounds over time. So if you want to try this workflow, I will put the link in the description. My recommendation is to start simple. Set your brand DNA, upload one strong source like a PDF or a web page you already have. Generate one post and one carousel, refine the hook and structure, then schedule the next few posts while you already have momentum. If you do that once, you will immediately feel the difference between knowing the rules and actually showing up like a real brand.